Just want to give a warm welcome from the family and close friends for all of you that have come here to celebrate the services for Kevin, Roland, Scott, Graham, and we greatly appreciate you being here to support the family. Prior to the services, we had a family prayer offered by Brandon DeMarco. And we're going to go ahead and begin with my opening remarks. Following my opening remarks, we'll have a live sketch by Jennifer Martin, and we're going to go to that point in our program. In preparing today to share just a few thoughts with you, one thing kept coming to mind, and it was the hymn, Master, the Tempest is Raging. For those of you that know, the hymn is based on the story when Jesus went out with his apostles out onto the lake, and the storms arose, and Jesus was sleeping, and as the boat began to get tossed to and fro, they were very frightened, and they woke the Savior, and he calmed the waters. Mary Ann Baker was asked to write this song. But the thing about Mary Ann's life was it was very similar to this song and similar to us today. Because I can't think of any greater storm in our life than losing a close son, a loved brother, beloved father, and close friend. There's no greater storm that impacts our souls than that. And so that's why this song and this story came to me. Mary Ann was left an orphan at a very young age. Both her parents died of tuberculosis. She was left to raise her sister and her brother. Soon after her parents' death, her brother became ill with the same illness. So Mary Ann and her sister gathered together all the money that they had to send their brother to Florida where he could recover from this illness, and they lived in Chicago at the time. But weeks after arriving in Florida, her brother passed away. Having spent all their money to send him there, neither her nor her sister could make the trip to Florida for the funeral services. In her words, I became wickedly rebellious at this dispensation of divine providence. I said in my heart that God did not care for me or mine, but the Master's own voice stilled the tempest in my unsanctified heart and brought it to the calm of deeper faith and a more perfect trust. There are going to be times that you're going to be left alone there. And you're going to reach out, as the verses say, Master, carest not that I perish. But if we will wait, if we will have faith, and if we will hold on, we will feel the Savior's voice reach out to us and say, why are ye so fearful? How is it that ye have no faith? A couple of verses from the Psalms. Master, with anguish of spirit I bow in my grief today. The depths of my sad heart are troubled. Awaken and save, I pray. Torrents of sin and anguish sweep over my sinking soul. I perish, dear Master. Oh, hasten and take control. The following verse. Master, the terror is over, the elements sweet rest. Earth's sun in the calm lake is mirrored, heaven with my breast. Linger, O Redeemer, leave me alone no more, and with joy I shall make the blessed harbor and rest a blissful shore. One last thought I'll share with you, and this is from President Russell M. Nelson. The only way to take sorrow out of death is to take love out of life. So as we think of Kevin, may we always cherish his thoughts, his memories, and hold on to that love no matter what pain it causes. Because it is that love that carries us on. And I share that with you in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
Good morning. I don't enjoy doing this. I'm speaking in front of people. This was kind of Kevin's job. Kevin kind of liked to be the center of attention. If any of you know him, you would agree with that. I'm Jennifer. I'm Kevin's older sister. And I want to tell you some things. And, I don't know how to write a eulogy. I was just going to go onto Google and have Google write it, but I decided I would put some effort into it. I'm just kidding. So as we gather here today, we're reminded of what a special person my brother was. And I'm grateful for everybody that came today to honor him, as well as everybody that reached out to give their condolences. Kevin Boogie Graham was born March 7th, 1984, and he's the second oldest child of 4. As a kid, Kevin was much like he was an adult, painted off rear. So the thing that is Kevin, though, is that he was him. And what that means is he was the whole package. He was rolled into one. You got the good, you got the bad, you got the ugly. Most of it, you got the good. You got the good stuff, because he was an amazing person. Even when Kevin he'd come back, he'd win you around. You could be mad at him. I've been mad at him 100,000 times in our life, but he would always win me back. And he always said, "I love you," and I think that that's something that he loved people. He loved you. He was kind and he was caring. He was compassionate, funny, and incredibly opinionated. And that's part of that good, that bad, and that ugly. As the oldest child, I had the privileges of chasing my siblings around the house. And I would tell them, if you touch me, I'm going to hit you. Do you remember that, Bo? You touch me, I'm going to hit you. And then I would make them touch me, and I would hit them. This was especially satisfying when it was Kevin. I just really enjoyed that part of it. Because he was a turd and nothing changed, As a man, he was still a turd. I love him to pieces. And I can say those things, because he's my brother. And I had to put up with him as a kid, So I know many of you are probably jealous of that story, because I'm sure at one point or another, you've wanted to hit him too. And that's okay, I'm not mad at you for that. I think you should be if you know him at all. And I would often tell my brother, Kevin, for the sake of being here, I'm not going to curse, I'll just tell you it rhymes with mass. Kevin, I'm going to kick your mass. And, he's this big guy, right? Kevin's a big dude. And you know what, but I was his older sister. And he's very protective of the women in his life. And he would always tell me, he was like, I know you can't, Jen. In the sweetest voice. And we all know I wasn't going to kick his mass. There's been many times that I've wanted to, but I couldn't. He's much bigger than I am. Above all else, Kevin was an amazing person, and he had a heart of gold. He was kind, caring, and passionate. He was funny. Kevin was just a big goofball. He was always laughing, and he was always making other people laugh. And he always had a smile on his face. And I think that that's special. I don't think everybody can do that. And he did. He loved his family. and he loved his kids, and he definitely loved his mama. We would always tease my mom that Kevin was her favorite child because they talked several times a day, 3, 4, 5 times a day. If my sister and I couldn't get a hold of my mom, we would say, oh, she's probably on the other line with Kevin. As a kid, we would ask my mom, who's your favorite kid? And Kevin was Kevin, and so he played the drums, if any of you know. He would tease my mom, and he would say, drums, 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 drums. Because my mom wouldn't want him to go out and play the drums because it was loud. It was very loud. And I remember Gabby was telling me a story that, and this is Kevin, he would play the drums, and Gabby says, please stop playing the drums. And he would not stop playing the drums. And she says, please stop playing drums, because their rooms were right next to each other. And he wouldn't stop. So she went in the room and she smacked him upside the head. And then she took off down the street running as far as she could away from him, with no shoes on her feet. And to think about it, Kevin wouldn't do anything. He'd probably end up tickling her. He was sweet. It's evident that he touched so many people's lives. He had a way about him. He can talk to anybody and everybody, and he would. He never met a stranger. He had this certain charisma about him that people were kind of drawn to him. They wanted to know him, they wanted to know more about him. And by no means was he shy. We were talking last night when Bo went down to get a soda pop from downstairs, and it took him an hour to get back upstairs. And we were laughing that that's something Kevin would do. Kevin and Bo are like that, they can just talk to anybody. So, this all doesn't seem real. It has felt for the last few weeks, it's felt like we've been living in somebody else's nightmare. Because this doesn't happen to you, this doesn't happen to me, this doesn't happen to our friends and our family. This happens to other people. Not that that's right, but that's the way we think. We're never prepared for this. Every day it's like waking up in a bad dream, going through the motions to survive the day. And, meanwhile, there's just this huge hole in your heart, just full of emptiness. And any time I'm not thinking about it, you feel guilty for not thinking about it. I know I do. We've been here with Amber and her family, and seeing the kids and seeing Tavish and Riley, and, I can't look at any of them and not think of Kevin, and that's something that's very dear to us, that's a piece that we have left of him, along with the memories. So what we once enjoyed and deeply loved, we can never lose. For all that we love deeply becomes a part of us, and Kevin would want us to take care of the people that we love. We want you to hug them and tell them that you love them. Be prepared, because life can change. Just like this has changed in the blink of an eye. This is what we're doing. And then that way there's no regrets. We never have to live with regrets. Did they know how much I love them? We've searched high and low for anything to help lessen the pain of this experience. And we believe that God had other plans for Kevin. And those did not include him being here with us. We believe his purpose was greater, and we thank God for allowing his kind and caring and loving heart to live on through another. As many of you may know, Kevin was a donor. And, even though we must say goodbye here and now, he's provided an opportunity for many people to live on. And we give thanks, those people to give thanks literally with every beat of their heart, because his heart went to somebody and he saved people. So that's how I choose to remember my brother. That's how, that's how he was as a person. So, thank you.
And I'd like to go ahead and invite Amber Earl up to offer a musical number.
Alright, bear with me, you guys. If it weren't for Kevin, I would not be doing this right now, but I know that this is exactly where you want me to be and what you want me to do for him today. I do have the lyrics right here because I know with my emotional state, I probably will forget some words, so. Lift me up, hold me down, keep me close, safe and sound, burning in a hopeless dream. Hold me when you go to sleep. Keep me in the warmth of your love when you depart. Keep me safe, safe and sound. Lift me up, hold me down, keep me close, safe and sound. Drowning in an endless sea. Take some time and stay with me. Keep me in the strength of your arms. Keep me safe, safe and sound. Lift me up, hold me down, keep me safe, safe and sound. I know your life on earth was troubled, and only you can know the pain. You weren't afraid to face the devil. You were no stranger to the rain. Go as high on that mountain. Did your work on earth is done. Go to heaven, shine.
time, the family would like to turn the time over to the congregation to share their thoughts, feelings, and stories about Kevin. And so we're going to do that for the next 20 minutes. And so the time is now yours.
Good morning, everyone. Last night around midnight, I thought about this and I had no words. And I'm usually not one without words. And this morning as I was getting ready, I had these words come to me and I knew it was Kevin. So I actually talked to text on my phone some things that over this last week and a half spending time with his family, his amazing mom, I felt very impressed that I needed to say some things that Kevin taught me. I'm Amber's mom, Robin, and Kevin was a big part of our family in a big way. Big heart, just big Kevin. And one thing, I want each of you to take a look around. Those that are next to you, those that are in front of you, and those that are behind you. This is something that Kevin taught me. This is Kevin's village. This is Amber's village. Lisa's village and his children's village. Ooh, sorry. Each of us are here because of Kevin. Kevin brought so much to our lives. He was an example of immense and genuine, unconditional love. And not just in his actions, but verbal. He told everybody, I love you. I would sometimes be at their house and I don't even know who he's talking to. I thought it was his brother, his mom. I love you, bro. And I was like, who's that? That's my coworker. I just met him last week. I mean, that's just how he was. And Kevin started to notice the dynamic of our family, and we're a very strong, emotional, passionate family. But he said to me, how come you don't end your conversations or when leaving, say I love you? And he said, I want to challenge you from now on that anytime your loved ones, whether they are just leaving or you're on the phone, he said, I want you to say I love you. And I thought, gosh, in our family, we just kind of candidly, love you. But it was, no, I love you. And he taught me that. And as I started to do that with my children, at first it was kind of awkward, like, Mom doesn't say I love you. But now we are saying that, and it's brought us really close. It's really repaired some things that had gone on in our family. And I know because of Kevin, his example, his unconditional love for anyone, it didn't matter who you are, who you were, it was very heartfelt. I have a couple of my family members here, my mom, my brother, sister-in-law, nieces, and I want them to know, my husband, my children, my new family, my new best friend, my best friend, her husband. I want all of you to know I love you. I love you. We had a little saying in our family when Kevin came to our family, and if you've seen Home Alone, and the part where it says, the mom's on the plane, says, where's Kevin? And they go down the line and say, Kevin's not here, Kevin's not here, Kevin's not here. Comes back to the mom, Kevin's not here. And that was just kind of a funny joke in our family. Where's Kevin? Kevin's not here. Well, you know what? I'm going to change that today, because Kevin is right here. From now on, we will say, where's Kevin? Kevin's right here.
And I love
And I love you. I want to say to Amber and all of you that Kevin is here. He's here today, and he will be here with us the remainder of our journey. So I want to challenge all of you, as Kevin challenged me, that as you guys go on your journey, to make sure that you genuinely say the I love yous to your loved ones, your family, a stranger. Amber, going through this, she shared a story. She walked into a gas station. I think we were going to get some clothes of his, and she went to get a juice, and the guy at the counter, which doesn't matter what you look like, but he was not a parent that a judgment would be, oh, he wasn't maybe a man of God. And you could see Amber was struggling, and he said, I'm sorry, I can tell that you are going through a struggle. And she said, yeah, I'm grieving. And he said, can I pray with you? And right there at the counter at 7-Eleven, he prayed with her. And he said, I love you. And I went, that's a tender mercy. There's going to be little tender mercies that come along that we're going to see with Kevin, and I know that was Kevin. And I'm pretty sure Kevin knew that guy because he was in there all the time. Amber, as your mother, please know I do love you. I'm proud of you. There will be hard days to come, but there will be great days. And you have your children, you have Riley, you have Tavish, you have this village. We've added to our village. Please let this village serve you and be there for you. You are brave and you are strong. And it's okay to feel whatever you feel when you don't feel the strength to go on. Lisa, I want you to know how much Kevin loves you. He continually shared about his awesome mom, his awesome siblings, his family, his kids. It's unfortunate it took this for us to really get to know each other, but I've had Lisa and his older sister Jen in our home for the last week and a half, I don't know. And I'm ashamed we haven't done it sooner, because I really genuinely do have a new friend. Part of my village that's going to help me with my kids, and they've been a great example with my kids. So I just want to remind everyone that Kevin has brought us all together in some way with his unconditional love. And to just remember that whenever you have to depart. End it with, I love you. Amen.
So we have a okay, so we have a speech that we're gonna tell you guys about Kevin. Okay. It's really small. We love Kevin with all our hearts. We know how much he loved us and we loved him. We remember when he would cook us food. We also remember when he taught us what ABC Go was. He always had dance parties with us all the time. We love him with all our heart. We only want to wish him one thing, to always remember us in the heart forever. We love you, Kevin. Okay. I want to talk about Kevin, how he was so nice, sweet, and kind. So he taught me that to never give up and to keep trying. And he probably wants to make us know that never give up.
Well, I, like all of you, was very blessed to know Kevin. He came into my life in a really difficult time, and I had actually just lost my little brother, and he was like, well, you got one now. And he really was. He turned into that perfect big little baby brother. He was a lot bigger than me, but he didn't even just turn into my little brother. He turned into an uncle for my boys and my kids. They loved him deeply. And he did exactly like Robin said. He just made everybody make sure, like, you're important to me, you're worth it to me, I see you and I know you. And I spent so many hours with Kevin. He called me in the morning, he's like, get up girl, get up, we gotta go, let's go do something, let's go figure something out to do. And everywhere I went with him, he was always bringing that love and that joy to everybody he interacted with. And when I was spending time with him, I always heard from his mouth how much he loved his kids. His kids were always his mama, his siblings, and how much he loved Amber. And I was so happy they had this beautiful little family to start. So much joy and precious little people that hopefully we all get to still stay really connected with. These are the times where Amber is going to need the village. And I really hope that everybody will continue with that legacy that Kevin showed us, with that love, and keep pouring it out to his beautiful children and to Amber and those babies.
I actually wasn't planning on saying anything, just support Maria. I'm a stranger here, but Kevin taught me I wasn't. I've only known Kevin for a short period of time, but he did tell me he loved me. I'm a better person for having known Kevin. Have an opportunity in my life and my profession to share the love that Kevin shared with me. I'm a different person. I sat in a meeting with Kevin in a group where we were taught that every hello presumes a goodbye. But not every goodbye presumes a hello. So what are you doing between the hello and goodbye to make sure that people know that you love and care about them? Kevin turned to me and said, I love you. And then later harassed me for something else. But apparently that's Kevin, right? I just wanted to tell Amber, I think when we met a while back, that I said you had a voice of an angel. That hasn't changed. I'm glad I get to hear the angel you're singing to as well. Thank you.
Hello? My brother, Kevin. 36 years I got to spend with that man. Good times, bad times. He was my father figure, my role model. Somebody I looked up to every day, through his good habits and his bad habits. It's too hard to talk, I'm sorry. Everything's been rearranged in my soul. Speechless. Guess I shall forever carry Kevin in my heart, and you guys should too. Everybody knows the love that he shared. We made plans as young boys to grow old, to make a life, a business, and a future with each other. And if anything shall happen to one another, that we would be there no matter what. So we are here today for Kevin. and I'll never let Kevin go out of my heart. All the could have beens are would have beens now with his vessel, but his soul are going to continue to remain inside mine as going to bees. As much as everybody loved my brother and my brother loved everybody, I have this feeling that he doesn't want us to be sad. He doesn't want us to mourn him. He wants us to celebrate him and his joys. And I look up in the clouds and I see him every day. And that's just probably my big brother looking down on me and telling me I'm watching out for you guys, all of you. I have millions of memories I can share with them, and I can make jokes about it, but I'm sorry, it's catching my throat. When I start to think about it, I have to talk something else because it catches me. I'm trying to build the courage to say everything I do want to say. But maybe I should just end it as Robin said, I love you guys and thank you for attending something I thought I would never have to see in my life, or not this early in my life. But perhaps all of us will unite as a spirit from Kevin and remain a village, as Robin had said. But back as to my sister Jennifer had said, she just wanted to slap him. Well, right now I wish I could slap my brother. Maybe it would have slapped some sense into him. We know this is a tragic accident. I feel that it was by all means nothing intentional. But it intentionally brought us all here. I'll continue to take the words that my brother would tell me as my older brother, my father figure, and I'll remain them in my soul and my heart for as long as I shall live, with him resting upon my soul as well. And I will continue to put effort to see him smile down upon me. And I hope everybody else here does the same. I just wanted one more day with my brother. Breathing, but I'll have every day with him over my shoulder. Thank you guys for coming, and I love you, Kevin.
I love you. I wasn't sure if I was going to get up here, but I am Amber's sister, and I was thinking, everyone was talking about this village, and I had this little story come to mind. Me and my 3 boys that you'll see running around actually stayed with Kevin and Amber for a couple of months as I was going through some things in my own life. And I remember a story that Kevin and me, of a moment that we shared us three together. Of course, me and Amber, we're adjusting to that first week. We're sisters, so us getting along is a miracle, sharing a bathroom and each other's things and all of that. So there was some tension, I think, but Kevin looked at us, looked at me and you, and he said, we're a team. Us three are a team. And I really wanted to get up here for you, Amber, because I know this day is going to be over. And everyone's going to go home and live their lives. And I want you to know that I'm on your team. That this is our team. All of these people are on your team. Kevin loved his family. He loved his kids. Tavish and Riley, he talked about you all the time. He loved his mom, he loved his siblings. Amber, he loved you. And I hope you know that when those days are hard, that he's with you and he's in these girls and in Riley and Tavish. That we're on your team. Kevin was a weasel to me. He was a little weasel. We could banter back and forth, and he became family. I'm just grateful that these little girls get to have such a big family. And Riley and Tavish, you're a part of our family too. And I hope for these little girls that you're there for them. Because he lives through the stories you guys get to tell them as your dad. I love you, Kevin. I love you, Amber.
There's a lot I could say today. I'm not a huge people person. Like right now, I have an extreme amount of anxiety getting up here in front of everybody. I've thought to myself over and over the words that I have to say when I get up here. There's a lot that I could say, but one thing that I wanted to share with you guys is that one thing Kevin taught me growing up is to never be stingy. That was one word he always said to me and my little siblings. Never be stingy. He taught me to be loving and caring and always share with others. Like, there was this one time, I could tell you guys, I think he was going to the Maverick, and he was going to get some beer or something, and we pull up into the Maverick, and we're like, what the hell? Because there's like this guy like digging in the dumpster, and he's like trying to find food or whatever, and Kevin, I've never seen him like that. He almost like broke down into tears. And, you know, he like said fuck it, whatever, like didn't get his beer or whatever, you know? And we ended up going back and pulling out more money. We went back and gave that homeless man some food, or some money so he could get some food. And a couple weeks later, Kevin ended up picking up that homeless guy and taking him to lunch. And that's just something that showed me, like, you never know what somebody's going through, like, you know? And I was just sharing and give back. I don't know really else what to say. Thank you guys.
So we're just waiting for my mother to come up here, and she's having a hard time. I understand, Mom. Come on. I'm by your side. Come on, Mom. It's okay. It's okay.
I obviously do not do this. Obviously, I raised these kids. They're all the same. I'm speechless. I'm his mom, and I'm grieving. I apologize. I can't stand her. I can't even think of all the things I could tell you about my son. He was very loving. I can tell you something. Kevin was a donor. He wasn't a donor. We donated. And Kevin, with the big heart that he had, and obviously full of love, caring kindness, that heart, his heart, was so full of love. He, when we were in, with the donor counselor, and we were going over all his organs and all, I told her, when this first happened, I said to everybody, I want Kevin's heart to go to somebody. Somebody deserves this heart. And I think it was the day after we did all the donating, maybe 2 days later after we did got the donation all done. The lady, her name is Susan, came in to me. We were then at the transplant hospital with Kevin. We lived with Kevin the whole time. And she said, well, we found a recipient for his heart, both of his kidneys, and his liver. I screamed. I was so excited. Kevin was very healthy, no matter what, he was very, very healthy. She said, that's not the only thing. She said, his blood type is extremely, extremely rare. Like, a lot of people have never even heard of it. She said it's 1 in 200,000. And they found 4 recipients for his organs. So it was pretty obvious that God did have a plan for Kevin. And he does. I just feel like God needed another angel for his army. So thank you for coming. I'm very nervous up here. And I love you so much, Kevin. I miss you so terribly bad. I love you, Kevin. Thank you.
Hi, not much of a public speaker, but I feel like I owe it to Kevin to say something. I first met him back in the day, I was like 16. He came work for my uncle, and I didn't think too good things about him. He's kind of ignorant, you know, but I stayed in the trade, and later on down the road, hired on with him at a different company, and I was in some of the darkest times of my life when he came into my life and I got close with him. And he helped me get through some tough times, and we were both there for each other, you know. I know he was fighting his demons, I was fighting my demons, but one thing he got me into was the gym. I know you guys all know he loved the gym, you know. He's a big guy and there's a reason for it, you know. But he taught me everything he knew about lifting, and he changed my whole mindset and like the way I look at life. And I'm just forever grateful for the time I got within the last few years. Working out of town, you know, you're away from all your friends and your family all week. You're working and you're staying at a hotel, but we'd be just gymming and working together, you know, and we got pretty close. But yeah, he had a good heart, and he always tell me, I love you, bro, you know. And I'm gonna miss hearing him up on the scaffold at work, like, hey bro, give me that block, you know. Yeah, sorry, I don't know what to say. I just feel like I owe it to him to come say something good about him. Yeah.
Yeah, everybody. My name is Johnny. I'm a co-worker of Kevin's. Kevin actually was a big part of my life. He vented to me a lot of times. Anything that he wanted to say, he was very about what he said, you know. He always meant his words and he showed love. He took me on rides all the time. Whenever he was going somewhere, he would take me. For the moments that I did, he let me stay with him, which means a lot to me because I don't have too much, so it meant a lot that he did that for me. He was really a kind guy. Like, I don't ask for nothing, you know? I don't ask nobody for nothing. I would sleep on the street before I asked somebody to stay with them, no matter what. And I remember I was working in Cedar City, and I had this girl, and I would always sleep on the street, and I had a sleeping bag. It was cold outside, and I had 2 jobs, so I would work at the site. And then after work, I would go to work at McDonald's and get off at like 2 o'clock in the morning and go straight to do it again every day. And he knew that. And he told me, he was like, I'm not gonna let you do that no more. And I was like, it's okay, bro, I got this, I'm gonna do this. And I did it for 4 months and he kept telling me, I'm gonna stop you. And I was like, I'm good. And he went to me. And he was like, I got us a hotel. And I was like, I don't need it. And he grabbed me. He was like, we're going to the hotel, Johnny. And he made sure we was in the hotel after that, every day. And I started paying my dues. I started paying my part. And he told me, he was like, you're not going to leave this hotel. You're going to keep working because you deserve this. And I did, and it meant a lot to me because I'm too used to struggling. And he was such a loving person for doing that. And when we went to Richfield, I told him, I was like, bro, I got me, you know, I'm gonna make a way, I got myself, I'm good. And he was like, no, I know you, and you're gonna come to my house. And I was like, no, man, I'm good, I'm okay. And he took me in, and he would bring me meals, and I told him every day, I was like, I didn't ask for this, you can keep it. And he would still give it to me, he would cook and bring it to me, and I'm like, stop, man, I can buy pizza. And I remember I bought pizza one time, and he still brought me the meal, and he was like, stop doing that, I can cook for you. I was like, no, I don't insist, I'm fine, I don't want to be a burden. He was so loving, and he was like, no, use the kitchen, you're human too. And that meant a lot to me because I'm not used to people loving me, and I'm not used to people being there for me, and so that meant so much. And I wish I could have went to the gym with him because, like, he helped Cam, he always wanted me to go to the gym, but I'm so to myself, and I'm so independent. I was like, no, I'll do it myself, I'll go to the gym by myself. And then he was just like, he always would ask me to go to the gym, and the one moment I was like, you know what, I'll go to the gym with you, this happens. It breaks me to know that because he was so there for me. It didn't matter. I remember when I wanted something from the store, I would tell him, I'm like, I'm gonna go to the store. And he was like, how are you gonna get there? I was like, I'm gonna walk or I'm gonna take an Uber. And then he was like, get in the car. Get in the car. And he knew that I had did it so much time past that I was serious about what I was saying to him. And just the fact that he took that extra step to make me a human person and understood humanity meant so much to me because I'm not used to seeing people like that. He was a great friend, and he knew I was always there to talk to him, and he would vent to me a lot about his life or how he was feeling, and he knew that I was a listener. It didn't matter what he was going through, I was there for him. I was gonna listen to him. And even when sometimes he would vent to me, and like, I'm so used to being by myself, sometimes I don't even want to hear people's voices, and I'm like laying there and he comes to me and he just lays on the bed and starts talking, and I'm just like, okay. And then, but I'm hearing him out because I know everyone goes through something. And he was just such a good friend. And I remember even one time he would always come to me and talk about like how he used to play Call of Duty and he was so good at it and used to be the top 3. So I took the extra step one time, like we was in a hotel and I took the extra step. I hooked up my Xbox and I got the extra controller and batteries just so that he could play it and have that nostalgia. And I could just see how he loved it. He whooped my tail in that game. And I did not know that he could whoop my tail. And I was going to even get an extra controller for my PS5 because he kept coming to me and saying like, I want to play with you, I want to play a new one, I want to beat you in it. And I remember he kept coming to me and being like, come upstairs and play some Mortal Kombat with me, man, let's play something. And I'm just so used to being by myself that I was just so stubborn, you know? I'm so stubborn and I wish I could have just went and played with him, man. It's just hard when you're always by yourself, you know? And he's not a person that'll let you be that way. He's gonna be in your face. He's gonna be there the whole time. And that's such a great thing. I hope that stays with all of us. You know, I hope we could all learn from that and be like that because it makes a big difference to someone like me. And I love that about him. I even remember like, and I remember he had like such a big appetite. He's such a funny guy. Like, he's so hilarious. Like, I remember I bought a pizza and like, I was like, okay, we're gonna eat pizza. Like, cause I was learning to take care of him the way he took care of me and like, was in a hotel, bought pizza, and I eat like 2 pieces. Start playing the game, cause I play the game for hours, so I'm like playing the game. And when I turn off the game, I go to the pizza. There's like no pizza. I look at him and I'm like, God dang, you huge man. Like, he's like, yeah, man, you should get some more. I'm like, maybe I should, okay? But he taught me to be selfless. He really taught me to show love, be selfless. Anything I needed, he was there for me. And the same way, vice versa. And like, I remember he always used to tell me how much he loves you, Amber. Like, it was, even when he went to me, like, at the end of the day, he'd always tell me, he'd be like, I remember he said this, and I hope it's not like out of context or anything, but I even remember he said this, he was like, man, I love her so much, bro. And like, that's how it sounds to me. And like, he was like, bro, I love her so much, bro. She could stab me and I'd love her even more. And I was just like, some strong love got there. He was just big on it. Like, he loved you so much and he just loved his daughter so much. And he'll always talk about all of you to me every time, no matter what site we were at. And when it came to work, that man was a go-getter. I remember him being on my tail all the time when it came to work. Like, we're at work and he's like, you're gonna be my hog tender. And I'm just like, I'm a hog tender, everyone, yeah, you know? And he's just like, he made it so everything he needs, I'm his hog tender, literally. And I remember like how hard he worked, he made me even work harder because like, he's a go-getter, man. There was a wall and literally he was like, watch this. And I recorded it on my phone and he literally did that whole wall. Like, did the whole thing, like more than 4 feet, did it himself while he had all the other masons on a different wall. And he just wanted to show me that he was that man. He liked to boast a little bit. He liked to boast a little bit. He was a great person though. He was good at what he did. You know it. He was very good at saying it too. He was like, watch bro, watch this. I'm gonna smoke him. I guess they call it burying. Outbury. It's called burying when you outdo someone in masonry. I didn't understand that context until I saw him doing it. But he could go, man. He was the whole thing, like wow, I was amazed. He could really outdo. He was one of the top that I've ever seen. Because seeing 4 people work on a wall and him work on a wall and him outdo them on the wall he's doing, well, let's just clone you at that point. Like what we're doing. But yeah, that was all Kevin, you know, and he really impacted my life. And a lot of things that he told me, I still need to take into consideration. He had real strong words and a lot of experience when it comes to life and even relationships. I'd rather ignore it, but I know that everything he said was out of love, and the advice that he would give me in relationships, I really should take it and take this step to do so, because he only wanted what was best for me at all times. And he knows from experience what's right. He's really great. He was a really great person. He impacted my life in all of those ways. And I hope that we all be like that. And that's all I got to say today. Thank you so much for listening.
Before we move on, is there anyone else that would like to come up and share anything? Okay, we'll go ahead and move on. We're going to go ahead and try and watch a video, so we haven't tested it, so hopefully it'll work for us and play okay, but we're going to go ahead and try and do that right now. Following the video, I'll just give some closing remarks, and then we'll prepare to go to the break. lot of wonderful things about Kevin, and I feel like I've got to know him a little better, and I've really gotten to know Lisa over the last few days. In fact, you might be getting a call from my wife because of the many phone calls that we've had together, but...
Oh, we speak that way.
Yeah.
Stop crushing on me now.
All right. Anyway, I just want to close with one last thought for you, and I'm going to share this poem with you. I'm standing at the seashore, a ship at my side, spreads her white sails to the morning breeze and starts for the blue ocean. She is an object of beauty and strength. I stand and watch her until at length she hangs like a speck, a white cloud just where the sea and sky come to mingle with each other. Then someone at my side says, "There, she is gone." Gone where? Gone from my sight, that is all. She is just as large in mast, hull, and spar as she was when she left my side. And she is just as able to bear her load of loving freight to her destined port. Her diminished size is in me, not in her. And just at the moment when someone says, "There, she's gone," there are other eyes watching her coming, other voices ready to take up the glad shout, "Here she comes." Though Kevin is gone from our sight, he is not gone. He is still as strong as he ever was. Still going to be that voice encouraging us. You'll hear it every once in a while, the "I love you." And soon we're going to step over to the cemetery where we're going to consecrate his grave as hallowed ground. We learned that hallowed ground means anywhere where Jesus has walked. But it'll also be a place of thin veil where Kevin will walk. When we need to feel Kevin's spirit, feel his love and his strength, all we need to do is walk where he will walk. And there we will feel his strength and his love. Whenever we need him, Kevin will be there. His strength will still be with us to hold us up and to strengthen us. I know for a fact that Kevin is with his Heavenly Father, that he is with his beloved Savior and all of his many relatives that have gone before him, that he is there waiting for us to come until he can shout, "Here they come." I bear you that solemn testimony in the name of our beloved Savior, even Jesus Christ. And I end with this one last thought, and it feels right not to say it, but I have grown to love each of you and your family through this experience and getting to know Kevin and getting to know you.